everyone, and welcome to another game I played on Ptcgo. For this match, I'm going to be playing with my Team Plasma deck, but the point of showing this video is actually a little bit different. It's sort of showing off more of what my opponent's doing, both in terms of his deck and how he's playing in kind of annoying fashion. I'll just say that for now. But I'm going to start off with Deoxys. As you can see, this video is sped up a bit just to get it all in here. I'm going to Skyla for a Team Plasma Ball. I do end up going first, and I'm going to get that Kyurem with that Team Plasma Ball. My opponent started off with a Aggron, which probably says this is a Salamance deck, which usually focuses on just messing with your opponent's hands and forcing them to discard. So my opponent puts down a Coughing and a Tropical Beach, so not something I see all that often. Well, Coughing I rarely see played. It's mostly in mill decks it's played. I'm going to play a Chorus Machine. Debating whether or not to Chorus. I don't really have much in hand, but I don't really want a Juniper because I do want that Scramble Switch, but I might have to right now. Instead, I've just Tropical Beached and didn't get much of anything, unfortunately, in terms of energy. My opponent plays a Tool Scrapper. He's going to get rid of the Float Stone I just placed on my Deoxys. Thus far, nothing much going on his side of the field. Sure, if he gets up a Salamance, that will be a threat to me, but that shouldn't be too hard to knock out if I can get Kyurem powered up. He's going to Skyla here. Not sure what he's aiming to get. But the reason I did speed this up is he kind of takes quite a bit to execute his turns. He goes for a Level Ball and brings out an Aggron. So with that, sort of the pieces are starting to come together. He's running a mill deck with Coughing used to evolve into Weezing and Aggron to Aggron, both of which under certain conditions will force your opponent to discard the top cards of his deck, or his or her deck. So into my turn, I'm finally going to use that Chorus and put down a Deoxys that I get and play down a Chorus Machine. Here I think my only real option is to just thin my hand down and play that Tropical Beach, hoping to get something, since I still don't have enough energy to attack. And now my opponent plays down a Muna and another Coughing, so Muna will come into play to try to put your opponent to sleep and stall them. So he does play another Tool Scrapper, and he evolves his Aggron into Lairon. So one more and he gets Aggron, and its ability Toppling Wind allows him to discard the top 4 cards of my deck. And now he plays a Hue, which forces me to discard down to 5. So he's already getting through the process of milling me, just because I've had a slow start and haven't been able to do much. And his Muna was able to use Long Distance Hypnosis to put me to sleep. I'm going to play down Keldeo. I'm playing my hand down because I'm afraid of Salamance's ability. And here I did a Chorus, but I need to play down as many cards as I can. Bench a Kyurem. Debating whether or not to catch or something, and I actually am. I want to get that Lairon up, since it'll be the most consistent mill in his deck, and I will Scramble Switch onto Kyurem, leaving me with 4 cards in hand, which will be the magic number that I should stay at. And I'm going to Frost Spear the active and hit Aggron for 30 on the bench. So my opponent puts down another Aggron, and he's going to Ultra Ball, probably for Aggron, and yep, we see exactly that. He will be able to Toppling Wind, discard 4 cards. One of them was a catcher, so painful discard there, since I do want the catcher in my hand. And he's going to Chorus. So I'm asleep due to Long Distance Hypnosis, which again is buying him time. He evolves one of his Coughings into Weezing, and rare candies his Aggron into Salamance. So Scornful Storm is the ability, and it forces your opponent to discard until they have 4 cards in their hand every single turn. So it's sort of a painful thing. He's going to play a Level Ball for a Lairon, And Weezing's Aftermath, if it gets knocked out, I have to discard the top 3 cards of my deck. So you can sort of see how, because I had such a slow start, all the pieces have now fallen into play. Now it's just going to be a slow and painful demise if I can't knock things out quickly enough, since it's clear he's not actually going to attack me. There's no energy cards in his deck, it appears. So I stay asleep due to long distance hypnosis. So my string of really bad luck continues. I sort of need to play my hand down here anyway. I'm debating whether or not to play catcher or just discard cards once he forces me to, and I decided to go with that route instead, since I do want that catcher in hand. Going into his turn, he's probably going to try to evolve his benched Aggron into another Aggron. If he can do that, 4 more will go into the discard. So here my targets will be anything but the Weezings. I don't want to knock them out and activate Aftermath. So he uses a Max Potion and a De-Evolution Spray. So all the damage I have done on his Aggron has been wiped off the field. And now he has a Lairon. If he has a rare candy, he can evolve to his benched Aggron. So yep, definitely things are not looking good for me here. But yeah, as I said earlier, my opponent does take quite a bit to execute his turns. He will go for a Skyla and for a rare candy. Most of it is because it does involve a very intricate strategy, so I do understand that. So he goes and evolves his Aggron into Aggron and activates Salamance ability, so I get rid of that Kyurem. And long distance hypnosis didn't work this time, or I'm not asleep this time. So I'm debating whether or not to play that Super Rod. I decide against it. I want to wait until more things are in the discard, since it might be my saving grace here. And I'm also debating whether or not to use that catcher. Instead, I'm just going to hit the active Lairon and hit the benched Aggron. So this will hopefully prevent him from using Devolution Spray, because if he does, it will knock him out that way. So those 2 will be my prime targets, although Muna has proven to be quite a pain in this match, so I might want to go after that at some point. So my opponent now ends me. This gives me a bigger hand, and he will activate Scornful Storm here, and I'll have to get rid of 2 things. So here I'm going to get rid of that Team Plasma Ball and a Juniper. I don't really want the Juniper at all, since it's just going to put more cards in my hand. He plays a Scoop Up Cyclone, which is another card that's really helpful for him. He sends up Weezing, so forcing me to attack into it, so I have to risk decking. But I do have the catcher. I'm going to bring up Muna, and I'm just going to attach that Bangle maybe. I don't know. I'm debating whether or not to do it. But here I'm just going to Frost Spear, take the knockout on Muna, stop him from using long distance hypnosis, and I will attack the benched Aggron. So I think he did get off another Toppling Wind in his last turn. So my deck is slowly but surely getting milled, and I've only taken 1 prize, and I'm already down to 12 cards. So as you can see, the strategy is working effectively. He gets a rare candy into Aggron. He's able to pull off another Toppling Wind. So now I'm down to 9 cards left, or 8, I'm not sure. And my hand size is at 5, so he can also use Scornful Storm to force me to discard, which I'm pretty sure it's what is coming up next. But he's going to chorus, so he himself is thinning out his deck quite quickly as well. So Scornful Storm, I'm just going to get rid of that Plasma Energy. I don't really need energy, I just need to attack very carefully. I'm going to play that N. I was hoping to draw a catcher here, so I don't want to attack into Weezing. Otherwise, I wouldn't have played that card. I'm going to play that Super Rod finally. I did draw into it, and I don't want to give him the opportunity to discard it some other way, so I will play recover 3 energy, or 3 energies in Pokemon combo, a combination of therein. I do get here an interesting decision of what to attack. I'm going to attack the active Weezing, obviously. I'm going to hit the benched Aggron, leaving it 20 short of the knockout, and Weezing short of the knockout as well. I can knock him out next turn, but I don't really want to. I'm sort of hoping to draw into a catcher. So here it looks like he evolves his Aggron into Lairon. He has 2 Aggrons, but the question is if he still has de-evolution sprays to recover one of those into his hand, so he can evolve the one that is unevolved, if that makes sense. So here, I think this is going to be another one of those turns where he kind of takes a bit, uses devolution spray, and he's going to play Hue to increase my hand size, and use Scornful Storm. So I'm going to get rid of a Team Plasma Ball, and if he can pull off another Toppling Wind, that would be very crippling, but it looks like he'll be able to do that next turn. So here I'm just going to play down Frozen City. He's going to discard it anyway the next turn, and I don't want to play that N. At least I don't think I do, unless I want to really go for the catcher. Here's what that is actually what I'm checking here. I do still have some, so I'm actually going to take the risk and try to go for the catcher. I actually get it, so I'm going to bring up, here I'm debating, I could go for Aggron or Lairon, and I go for Lairon. I'll be able to attack it with Frost Spear, hit it for 60, and hit the benched Aggron for 30, leaving it fairly close to knockout. But he is able to evolve his Aggron. He's able to evolve into Aggron. Uses Toppling Wind, and now I'm down to 2 cards in my deck. He will now Ultra Ball. Not sure what he's getting, if he has another Aggron, but he goes for a Lairon, evolves his Aggron into that, and let me tell you, this is quite a tongue twister at this point, trying to get all these names straight. So, not sure what he's trying to pull off here, but in 2 turns I lose anyway. But it looks like he plays a Hue, so I have 1 card in deck, so all he really needs to do is just continue passing and I'll lose anyway. So with that, I just discard Thundurus from that Scornful Storm into the discard pile. It's my turn, but I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose. I'm just going to play it out. I drew the last card in my deck, so here I really have no choice. I'm just going to, be a good sport and just continue playing, hit the active, and take out the benched Aggron and take a prize. Now going into his turn, all he needs to do is pass and he wins. But it doesn't look like he's doing this. And keep in mind, this has been fast forwarded, or this is at increased speed. He's going to play a Super Rod, then a Max Potion to heal off Aggron for whatever reason. And here I'm going to type in 3 ellipses, sort of asking like, what's up, why are you doing this? He's going to Skyla, another move he doesn't really need to make here. I've already lost. So he's going to Skyla for a level ball. Don't really know what he's trying to go for here. The only thing he can level ball for is a Lairon, I believe, if he still has those in deck. He's going to play off Toppling Wind again, forcing me to discard again needlessly. And now he's apologizing. Oh, sorry. And I think, oh, okay, he realizes he's doing something. But he goes off and plays a Super Rod, another Super Rod, to bring more things in his deck, and then finally ends his turn. So thank you guys for watching, and don't do what he did. It's not really necessary.